It is I, Jeremy Knowles, the Affordable Tutor. And before we get into the video, I want to let you know about a special that I am running through the end of the year. This is a pretty trying time for most people. I understand that finances are really tight. So in my continuing goal to try to make private tutoring as accessible to as many people as possible, I'm going to be running a special. Right now, tutoring sessions are buy one, get one free on your first purchase through the rest of the year. So, if you've never had a session with me before, this is a good opportunity to try out my services, or you can stock up for a month. There's going to be a limit of either 4 or 8 sessions, and that depends on if you want to have a session once a week or twice a week. So this is a great deal. If you're interested, just email me at affordabletutor83@gmail.com and we can get that set up for you. Alrighty guys, enjoy the video. Once again, it's I, Jeremy Knowles, the Affordable Tutor. And what we're going to be looking at over the next following videos are the different aspects of fractions. Fractions are something that intimidate some people because they don't completely operate like regular numbers. But what you'll see is that there are rules to how you apply them and perform their operations. And once you understand the basics of fractions, what you'll find is that they're really not that complicated. So what we're going to look at now is how to compare different fractions to tell which fraction is greater than, less than, or equal to another fraction. And the way that you're going to do that is by looking at what's called the least common multiple, or for short, LCM, least common multiple. And in case you don't remember or you're not sure what a multiple is, it's basically you take a number and multiply it by 1 and by 2, by 3, and see what the product is. So when you're dealing with fractions, like in this first pair here, we have 1/2 and 3/4. And we need to know which one is bigger because we're making a comparison. When you make a comparison, there's 3 special symbols that you're going to use. You're going to use the less than, greater than, or equal to symbols. So what we're going to look at here is the bottom number, which is the denominator of each fraction, and we need to get those equal. By getting those equal, we'll be able to tell which number is larger by looking at the top number, which is the numerator. So what we're going to do is this. We're going to start with 2, and we're going to list the multiples of 2. Change the font size, right? So starting with 2, 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so on and so forth. I think you guys get it. And then we look at the multiples of 4. Well, 4 times 1 is 4, times 2 is 8, 12, 16, so on and so forth. Now, if we look at what we have here, we can see that the least common multiple is actually going to be 4. Because this is the first number that we have for 2 and 4 that's the same. So since 4 is part of the least common multiple, we actually don't need to do anything to 3/4. We can leave that as is. We do need to change 1/2. And we're going to do that by multiplying the top and the bottom by the same number. So what do you have to multiply to 2 to get 4? Well, that's 2. And then whatever we do to the bottom of the fraction, we also have to do to the top. And with multiplying fractions, you just multiply straight across. So 1 times 2 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. So what that means is 2/4 is actually equal to 1/2. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and rewrite this as 2/4. And since the denominator, the bottom number, is the same, to figure out which one's larger, I'm just going to compare the top numbers or the numerators. So we know that 2 is less than 3. So what that means is 2/4 is less than 3/4. All right, so let's take a look at our second one. So we've got a 9 and a 6. So we're going to list the multiples of each of those, starting with 9. So 9 is going to be 9, 18, 27, 36. And for 6, we've got 6, 12, 18, and there we are. I don't need to go anymore. We've found our least common multiple, which is going to be 18. So now in this case, we're actually going to have to change both of the fractions in order for us to figure out which one is larger. So what do we multiply to 9 to get 18? Well, that's 2. Whatever we do to the bottom, we got to do to the top. So we've got 10 over 18. And then what do we multiply to 3 to get 18? Well, we know that's 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, got to do to the top. So I've got 3 over 18. So now that the denominator is the same, all we got to do is compare the numerator. Well, I know for sure that 10 is greater than 3. So what that means is 5 over 9 is greater than 1 over 6. Let's do the same thing for this last problem here. Multiples of 7, 7, 14, and I don't have to go any further because 14 itself is a multiple. So I don't even have to change 10 over 14. I'm just going to change 5 over 7. And again, what do I multiply to 7 to get 14? Well, that's a 2. I'm going to multiply 2 to the top as well. And look at this, 10 over 14. It's the same fraction. So that means that 5 over 7 is actually equal to 10 over 14. And so that's how you compare fractions using multiples. So you can compare any fraction this way. And what we're going to look at next is something called mixed numbers and improper fractions. You'll come across these. These are both what fractions look like when you actually have whole numbers in a part. Because remember, a fraction by itself is just part of a whole. Well, you can have more than one whole number and a fraction attached to it. So we're going to look at that next and then see how you can make comparisons using those. So cleared off the whiteboard. And now we've got a mixed number, which is 3 1/4, and an improper fraction, which is 17 over 6. These are hard to compare together when they're in this format. What you're looking at here is a fraction that's more than one whole. In this case, you have 3 wholes and a fraction. And then an improper fraction, these are actually just different ways of writing fractions. So how do you convert them? It's hard to do this comparison here when they're in 2 different formats. So we can do one of 2 things. We can change the 3 1/4 into an improper fraction, or change the improper fraction into a mixed number. So to change a mixed number into an improper fraction, your denominator is going to stay the same. It is not going to change, but your numerator will change. What you're going to do is you multiply the denominator to your whole, so the 3, and then you add the numerator. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is going to give me 13. And then what we could do at this point if we wanted to compare them as improper fractions is what we did before, find the least common multiple, change the fraction, do your comparison. But another option would be to change this improper fraction into a mixed number. And the way that you do that is by dividing the numerator by the denominator. So 6 can go into 17 2 times. It's going to give me 12. I'll subtract that. And then my remainder is 5. So the way that we're going to rewrite this, you have 2 is your whole number. Your denominator stays the same. And you put your remainder on top. So 2 and 5, 6. So in this case, now it's actually pretty easy to make a comparison just using the mixed numbers, because here the whole number is only a 2. But in this one, the whole number is a 3. And we know for sure that 3 is greater than 2. So what that means is 3 1/4 is greater than 2 and 5, 6. Or you could also say 13 over 4 is greater than 17 over 6. There you go, guys. So that is how you compare fractions. That's how you convert mixed numbers into improper fractions and improper fractions into mixed numbers. Please remember, I do offer Zoom tutoring sessions for $20 an hour. So you can send an email to me at affordabletutor83@gmail.com to set up a session, or you can use the link I'll provide below. I also have a Facebook page which has more information on my services, so I will provide a link for that as well. please take advantage of the special buy one, get one free session. It's a great opportunity just to try out my services and to stock up on sessions. School's not easy for everyone, but everyone does deserve a chance to succeed, and I would love to be a part of your the path of your education. All right, be kind to each other, guys, and be kind to yourselves. See you next time. Bye-bye.